Hello, and welcome to another in the Ask the Data Governance Coach video series. And today's question is, what is AI governance? And as a data governance person, do I need to care? And the reason I decided to make that the topic of today's video is it's a topic that I have discussed an awful lot recently, but I've discussed it on the podcast with a variety of different guests. And I realized that I actually haven't really spoken about how AI governance fits with data governance. Now, earlier on in the year, a software vendor asked me to write an article for them on where AI governance sat when it came to data governance. Now, this was something I was probably in early days of having discussions with some of my clients on. So I thought this was a great opportunity to, reach out, contact a number of people across my network that I knew were really working quite actively in AI, and more importantly, AI governance, and to try and start getting my thoughts together on how I felt that perhaps data governance and AI governance were related. Now, you don't need me to tell you that we need data governance before anybody starts doing Gen AI, because the models are only as good as the data we put into it. So there's lots of people, me included, on the internet saying you must do data governance before you do AI. However, nobody's really thought about what's the relationship between AI governance and data governance as much as perhaps they should have done. Now, what I found from all the conversations I had with people earlier in the year was that organizations that were doing AI governance totally separate from data governance were finding themselves focusing only on things like the ethics. So should we do this just because we can? Should we use Gen AI to do this? And they'd also be thinking about things like regulatory compliance, but also unintentional bias from the data being used. But the feedback I got was that none of these people were actually worrying about have we fully understood we got the right data? Is it good enough quality? Now, if you're watching this video, you know that that's what data governance will give you. And so I am finding a huge rise in demand in organizations embracing data governance because they want to start exploiting Gen AI initiatives. So I think that's good. It's always great to have an exciting driver for data governance. However, imagine how hard it is to be a user in your organization trying to do AI. And you've got an AI, perhaps governance forum that you have to go to. Probably got to go to some kind of data privacy or data protection one if you've got any personal data involved in your Gen AI model. And then you've got the data governance people going, hello, don't forget about us. You really ought to document your data so you're using the right data. And have you got data quality rules? Or do you understand how good that data has to be? So I like to think, just from my theory side of things, that data governance and AI governance should work closely together. But whilst doing the research for this article that I was talking about, what I actually came to the conclusion was that I actually think AI governance should be part of data governance. We want to make this as easy as possible for our business users to actually comply with everything. And rather than sending them loads of different places, why don't we just make AI governance part of data governance? Because I do believe a big part of AI governance is all about the data, its suitability and its quality for use in that model. Now, I think this means as data governance people, we are not necessarily equipped to be experts in AI governance. I don't think that we need to be experts in AI itself. I think we do need to make sure that we understand the concept so that we can ask the right questions. But I do think that perhaps we need to consider how do we need to hire new people? Do we need to work with other people in our organization? But I absolutely think, and I've had feedback from people who are doing it to confirm that it works well, that AI governance should be a subset of data governance. Let's make it really easy. One forum, one checklist that you have to comply with. And it means that all bases are covered at once, making it really easy for people to do the right thing. So I think it's a very exciting time to be doing data governance. I am, whilst a little bit nervous about perhaps AI being misused, I'm very excited about the things that AI can be used. for. But even more so, I'm really excited about the fact that this huge explosion in Gen AI is really driving the need for more data governance. And I think we have a really important part to play in making sure that the right data is used in the right way. And I think by doing AI governance and data governance together is the perfect way to do that. So I hope you found that useful. If you have, please help me on my mission to help as many people as possible by liking, commenting, subscribing. All of these things really help me get my message out to people who are perhaps struggling as they first start doing data governance. As we all know, data governance can be very challenging and often very lonely place to be if you're the only person in your organization trying to get people to care about their data. I really appreciate your help in getting the message out. And if you have got a question you would like me to answer on a future video, please just email them in to questions@nicolaascombe.com.